RE/MAX released its national housing report this past week that basically tracks transactions and prices throughout the country, targets, it labels hot markets, cold markets, and what I found that was interesting, and it's something that kind of rings true in Tampa, is that the market is down about 10% in transactions year over year, and that's pretty consistent with what we've seen in our market. So if you look at March of last year and March of this year, Tampa's down in terms of the number of transactions, but prices are up. So prices across the country are up as well, 8.8%. I found it interesting because usually Tampa doesn't trend the same as the rest of the country because we've got, the seasonal buyers, we've got retirees, we've got destination vacation home buyers. But interestingly enough, the national stats align really close with Tampa. Month supply of inventory, 4.1. We're hovering right around that same number. Days on market before a home sells, 77 days. That's pretty darn close to the average that we've seen here. So I find it interesting just to see that now versus 6 months ago, our market was blowing away the rest of the country. We were, our homes were selling faster, our homes were selling for better prices, we were getting more sales, and now we're starting to kind of stabilize, and it's starting to cool off a little bit. Now, granted, that's because we're talking about stats for January, February, and March, but I think, Courtney, you can probably, speak to this, but, how busy has it gotten the last few weeks with kind of the surge in the spring market?
Yeah, definitely has had an influx of homes coming on the market, lots of relocations from McDill, military reassignments, and just a lot of people putting their homes on the market, trying to get their kids into new school systems, get them settled. So it's definitely moving a lot faster than it was at the beginning of the year.
And I think that's key because while we preach in Tampa Bay that we don't have a hugely seasonal market, it's still somewhat seasonal in that we still have families that want to move during the summer months, that start to position during the spring. Mm-hmm. We still have the businesses and the Air Force Base, obviously, which is our largest employer, that brings a lot of traffic to our real estate market. So we still do have some of those seasonal fluctuations, even though we don't have the weather that causes the seasonal fluctuations up north. But I think and a lot of the discussion so far, and I've talked to Dave Lineker, the founder of RE/MAX, came on our radio show a few weeks ago, and he talked about the same thing. He expects Florida to have a huge year because of all the northerners being tired of the snow and the cold and saying, you know what, forget this, I'm going south to Florida, or I should say Florida, because that's how a lot of New Yorkers and New Jersey, we've become Florida. It's spelled F-L-A-R-D-A, Florida.
That's true. My family talks just like that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, Florida. You got anybody that says that, Adam? Any Floridas in your family?
I've never heard that one before. That is a new one. Yeah, the Boston one's always fun, but the Florida is a different way to say it.
Yeah, Florida. Yeah, I hear that a lot. So, and so with the RE/MAX housing report, some of the top markets in the country with increases in price. Detroit, Michigan, Las Vegas, Nevada, San Francisco, California, Miami, Florida, and Honolulu, Hawaii round out the top 5 for cities reporting double-digit increases in their median sales price. As far as inventory goes, I found this interesting: the lowest supplies of inventory. In other words, these are the markets where homes just, they hit the market, and before they hit the market, people are salivating for them. It's like a bidding war and an auction almost every time. Denver, Colorado, 0.5 months of inventory. We have 4 months of inventory. 0.5. Like literally, like before the house even goes on the people are chasing realtors from their offices to follow them to homes. Like literally, I heard a story from a broker in Denver that said that he does a lot of listings, and his car is branded, and he literally catches people following him from his office to see which homes he goes to get a early entry into the market, to know what's coming on the market. Isn't that? I think it's hilarious.
I've lived in Denver, and of course I live here in Florida, and Denver's about the only other place I think I would move to, so that doesn't surprise me that much.
But literally, I thought it was hilarious. It's a guy that does a similar amount of business that we do, lists, has hundreds of listings at a time, and literally there are people, watching his car leave his office and following him to see which homes he goes to. I think that's hilarious.
He needs one of those flags like the Brazilian tour companies.
Right. Come here, buy me, And I don't think we're experiencing it that hot here. There are pockets of our market and price points. Like right now, homes, in the 150 to probably 400 range are just on fire. You know, as you climb the price charts, it's a little slower, it takes longer to sell, but in that price range, you know, it's on. I'm expecting when I pull out of my office pretty soon to have people like following me to homes because everything I mean, we put stuff on the market in that price range and it is bidding war, gone, flying off the shelf. And it's funny, we had a client call into the office this week because, you know, obviously you hear Jack Harris and Glenn Beck and all these celebrities talk about all the neat things we do to market homes, and they talk a lot about the high-end homes, but you know, we're still just as happy. We work with a lot of regular priced, you know, clients. We are not a company that only services luxury clients. We have a luxury home division that sells higher end homes, but you know, our bread and butter are, you know, 150, 200, 300, $400,000 homes. And you know, those right now are on fire. So we love, you know, those properties. We love to market them and showcase them, and quite frankly, we like to position them so that we can get a bidding war, drive the price up as high as we can for the client. But I thought it was interesting. Our marketing has done such a good job branding us that sometimes people are almost like, oh, I want to sell a $200,000 house. They're not interested in that. I promise you, if you're listening to this radio show and you have a home that is not, you know, a super high-end home, a $50,000 home, it doesn't matter. We will help you. We want to help you, no matter your price point. But in that price point of the market, and I think that's also crucial when you're putting your home on the market in that price range. A lot of people are like, oh, well, it's going to sell anyway. And in that price range, yeah, maybe it will sell anyway, but the question becomes your value proposition. You know, how great of a price can you get with an agent that really knows how to navigate a bidding war, that knows how to be patient in negotiation, knows how to pit people against each other. There's an art to it. There's a science, and we've done it hundreds of times. And there's a lot of realtors that, you know, that haven't gone through that process, that don't know what it's like to negotiate in a bidding war scenario, that step on their client's own foot or make a mistake or accept an offer too quickly, because that part of it can really hurt the seller if you move too quickly to accept an offer before you allow the property to even get out there. You know, we tell our listing agents, and we talk about this all the time, be patient in that process. You know, let the seller make the decision, don't pressure them, let them feel comfortable, and let's let the market tell us what it's worth. Maybe it's worth more than the offer we got, but we don't know unless we give that, you know, a shot. So again, if you're out there, you know, thinking about selling a home and you've listened to our radio show or listened to our spots and think that we only sell luxury properties, that is definitely not the case. It is a part of our business, but we're very much focused on servicing and helping, you know, homeowners across Tampa Bay, no matter the price point of the home they have to sell. But so other low supply areas, San Francisco, California, 1 month, Boston, Mass. You had a whole bunch of it at 2 months. Boston, Dallas, Houston, Seattle, and LA all are right around 2 months. So our market, you know, obviously is kind of in the middle in terms of, you know, where the national reports, you know, lie.